Play through the Streamers community day long, declare play only, 12 boards, auctions given to us. We'll take a look. We're not in as much of a rush as we were last week. What is this hand? This is kind of crazy, huh? Partner opens a diamond. Take out double on our right. We decide to bid 4 hearts. I don't know how I feel about this 4 heart bid with the singleton diamond. We have 10 high card points. Our partner opened the bidding. So even though they made a takeout double, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the opponent's hand. I think it's actually somewhat likely to be our hand. We do have 3 spades to the queen, and with the diamond shortness, we actually have pretty good defense if they get to a spade contract. That said, we have no sure tricks in our hand. King, queen, jack, 7th of hearts is probably not a defensive prospect, but diamond to the ace, diamond ruff, maybe we get the queen of spades, maybe our queen of clubs scores a trick. So I don't think I like the 4 heart bid, even if it's kind of descriptive of our hand, because I think we have a lot of losers in the black suits specifically, and this could just be a part score deal. Like, it imps, sure, maybe we just bid 4 hearts and hope that that's the best game, but I don't know. I'm for whatever reason, like, this just doesn't feel like a 4 heart bid to me at match points. I would just start with a heart and probably make an invite in hearts. And if partner drops us in 3 hearts, that's probably good. Anyway, we get to 4 hearts. It turns out partner's hand is pretty terrible, and it looks like we do, in fact, have a couple of losers. So 2 clubs, a diamond, and a heart at least. We need to see if we can be careful against a potential ace-10, 4th of hearts, and ace hand. To be able to pick up that holding, we would need to ruff 3 cards in our own hand and still be able to get back to dummy to perform a trump coup, or potentially exit to the opponents if they haven't cashed their clubs yet, but that seems unlikely. So let me just think what happens if I win the queen of spades and I lead a diamond to the king. Let's suppose the opponents play 3 rounds of clubs. I ruff. I lead the king of hearts. They win. At this point, they'll probably not play a 4th club because they'll see what I'm trying to do. They'll probably play back a spade. I win in dummy. I can ruff a diamond and then cash the queen of hearts. I'm just coming up short. I don't think there's any way that I can actually pull off a trump coup. And so now my priority is probably going to be focused on just trying to make sure we don't suffer any extra ruffs. Three spades lead could be a doubleton, but I don't think that's what's going on. Then East would have a power double with spades, which seems very unlikely. We have 22 combined highs. So let's say we win the queen of spades and we lead the king of hearts. East wins, and East returns a spade. We could win in dummy. Lead the king of diamonds. Let's say East wins the ace. They play back another spade. Or they cash 2 clubs and play back another spade. We have to get back to our hand somehow. I guess we would then be forced to lead a diamond. East is probably the one short in diamonds as opposed to West, so that looks pretty okay. Again, it would be nice if we could come up with a line of play that against even relatively poor defense would work if East had ace 10 fourth of hearts, but I just don't see that ever happening. So let's just try and pull trumps. 3 spades to the jack. We'll win. Lead the king of hearts. East wins the ace. Ace of clubs. Club to the king. And another club. All right, let's pull a second trump. West follows, so... Oh, I guess I can't claim yet. East might show out. Nice takeout double, but we do lose a diamond. Wait, what? Oh, I'm sorry. I only started with 7 hearts. I must have miscounted. So what does happen if we lead a diamond at this point? I think I worked this out. I lead a diamond, they win, and play back a spade. I ruff. I play a spade, I ruff a diamond, but I'm in the wrong hand. There's just nothing I can do if the 10 of hearts doesn't drop. Okay, we're down 2. I don't know why I assumed I had 8 hearts. I even counted it during the auction, king, queen, jack, 7th, but I guess I forgot. Probably not much to be done about that one. I mean, it's possible that if we'd played the hand differently, the robots may have made a pretty poor misdefense, allowed us to perform the trump coup. But I rated that was probably less likely than for us to potentially suffer a ruff if East had a 4th spade, or a trump promotion, I mean, if East had a 4th spade, if we went about playing side suits rather than pulling trumps. What all happened here? A heart on a right, we overcall 1 spade. I think this is good, but it does kind of depend what your jump overcalls are, especially when vulnerable. I think it's pretty popular to play jump overcalls as intermediate when vulnerable, both at match points and imps. I think that's almost universal worldwide, but there could be some countries that don't treat things this way, at least from an expert level. I know that at lower levels, I think a lot of players just tend to play preamps or preamps. But so, with that being said, on this hand, our hand is just not nearly good enough for an intermediate jump overcall. So we overcall spade, 2 hearts, 4 spades from partner. Sure. And this is partner's hand. This all seems pretty reasonable. We get fairly unlucky, I would say, based on what partner's hand actually looks like. King, queen of hearts are completely worthless. I mean, we kind of knew that when the opponents were bidding and raising hearts. Partner does have really nice cards in both minors, but the queen of clubs is not useful. And the fact that partner has 4 spades, but none of them contain the ace or king, is obviously not great either. We might still make this if the king of diamonds is on side. It wouldn't be unheard of that East turns up with ace of hearts, ace, king of spades, and West has both minor suit kings. So heart to the ace. East switches to clubs. That's not a good sign. That's a really bad sign. The 10 of clubs holds, huh? Wait. That's a really weird play. Wait a second. Hold on. Something's not adding up about this club switch. West should certainly have played the king if they had it. So East switched to a club away from the king. But that doesn't make any sense. I mean, East would never know that we had a singleton club. I think it's more likely that West made a massive error than East made a massive error here. That's my guess. Now, I have no idea why West didn't play the king of clubs. I mean, this is just a novice mistake. But this is something I have seen the robots do actually relatively frequently, that sometimes they think their card doesn't matter. And so they just don't cover an honor with an honor in certain places, when otherwise, I mean, it would easily gain them a trick on defense. But I mean, here, obviously, like, West should just play the king, because if they don't, we might just win the 10 and take a club finesse. Like, if we were 6-3-2-2 instead of 6-3-3-1, then the 10 of clubs holds, we take a club finesse and pitch our diamond loser. Whereas if they cover with the king, their partner's jack of clubs holds up. I would like to be able to strip the hand and exit a trump. I have no idea why East switched to clubs instead of spades. Maybe East has no spades? Is that possible? I guess that's possible. West has ace, king, jack of spades, and East has everything else. I just don't know why East wouldn't return a heart. I don't know. This entire trick is so mind-blowing to me. Let me think if it's possible to even strip the hand. Because, for example, I could win the 10 of clubs. I could cash the king of hearts and pitch, say, a club, I guess. I could ruff the queen of hearts. I could go ace of clubs, pitch a diamond, ruff the third club, and then exit a spade. I would really love to lead spades from dummy. So maybe what I do is go queen of clubs, ace of clubs, pitch a diamond, ruff a club, king of hearts, pitch a club, ruff the heart queen, and then lead a spade. My thinking is that I want East to hop up with the ace if they have ace jack doubleton in the spade suit. Like, once I've stripped the hearts and clubs, it might feel very unnatural to East to duck when I lead a low spade and they have ace jack doubleton. So I think there's some chance that we actually just make the contract, when otherwise it would have had no chance if that's East's hand. So yeah, I think I like this plan. Queen of clubs, ace of clubs, pitch a diamond, club ruff. Hopefully all this holds up. King of hearts, pitch dummy's last club, ruff the heart queen, and then lead a spade. And this way, if East has singleton ace or singleton king of spades, they'll get end played. I think that would be really unusual. They would definitely switch to a singleton spade honor. If they have ace king doubleton, they probably should have cashed both of those rather than switching to clubs, but they would get end played as well. And if West happens to win, we can still fall back on the diamond finesse, which was always going to be our plan. The alternative is, I guess we could try and rough out the club king, but I mean, again, this would just... Why are they defending this way if the king of clubs is falling? This is just so crazy. I mean, I guess it's possible clubs are 7-1. That would make neither of these plays an error by either opponent, but I think it's more likely that the opponents have made a pretty large error on defense than clubs being 7-1. Okay, let's implement the plan. Queen of clubs, ace of clubs, club ruff. Assuming all this holds up, we'll be able to pitch a club, ruff the queen of hearts, and lead a trump. East does hop up with the ace, so we have made the contract. There's the jack from West, and East is forced to give us a rough slough. Look at that. Well, was the king of diamonds offside? No, it was onside. East had ace king of spades. It's a little unfortunate that our kind of plan didn't really work out. Again, I have no idea why West didn't cover the 10 of clubs with the king, or the jack for that matter. Doesn't really make any sense. But on to the next one. 620. So No match points gained on that one, unfortunately, but I think we came up with a pretty clever line of play. We pass in first seat. 5-5 in the black suit's 10 count. Favorable. I would always recommend opening these hands of spade unless your singleton is like a singleton king or queen or something, or your hand just looks terrible. Fits the rule 20, and favorable vulnerability gives you a little bit of protection. So pass a spade. We decide to bid Michaels. Seems reasonable. 2-no trump from partner, asking for our minor. We bid 3 clubs. All pass. Gross. Super gross. With partner's hand, I think it's actually pretty clear to just bid 2 spades. I guess you could make the argument that there's some chance. Yeah, partner was hoping we had diamonds, wishful thinking. I suppose you could make the argument that we're much more likely to be 5 spades and 6 clubs than 6 spades and 5 clubs. I mean, I think it's impossible for us to be 6 spades and 5 clubs having passed in first seat. So it's true that a 6-1 club fit would be preferable to a 5-1 spade fit. Still, I think given that 2 spades is 110 if it makes, and 3 clubs is 110 if it makes, and clubs is a level higher, it feels to me like we have a better chance of just playing at a lower level. Additionally, by taking more time to get to our contract, the opponents might wake up and realize they should be doubling us. So for all of those reasons, I think partner should just bid 2 spades and hope that the auction passes out and that we don't get into too much trouble. Hey, Eric. Eric says, if I sense a hand as a major misfit, willing to play anything as low as possible. Yeah, that's kind of the idea, that if you know the hand is a misfit, then your objective should be to just try and get out of the auction. Consider passing 2 hearts before 2 now. I think that's taking it a bit too far, but yeah. Also, didn't partner forget to open in third seat? Yeah, partner forgot to open in third seat. What should they open in third seat? I would probably open heart. I don't think it's particularly close to any other bid, but I mean, you could pass. Like, pass is fine, I think, but 1 heart seems kind of indicated. What is my plan? I'm in 3 clubs, by the way, so I haven't talked about the contract at all. I guess I would like to lead the Jack of Spades at trick 2. I think there's a decent chance the Jack of Spades holds, and then I'll figure out what to do from there. If I knew East was winning the Ace of Spades, I might think a little bit harder at this point, but for now, I'm just going to win the Ace and lead the Jack of Spades. I mean, we definitely want to set up spade tricks. I'm not that worried about getting a heart ruff in now. I think at some point they're probably going to play hearts for me, and I'll be able to score a ruff with a small trump. Okay, well, East didn't play the ace, so okay, West has the ace. Fair enough. 9 of hearts. Well, we'll cover that. I guess it technically doesn't matter. But I guess I'll cover. Okay. So East played a high spade when we led the Jack. East played the 7, which could be a doubleton, could be a 4-card suit. So the fact that West didn't pull trumps is a little bit odd to me. Because obviously we could just ruff a spade and dummy. And West probably doesn't know what our spade holding is. I mean, West could have ace 10 fifth, in which case it might be pretty clear what our spades are. But if West had like ace third or something, it would seem pretty indicated to just switch to trumps. What is East's hand? East has turned up with the king of hearts, nothing in spades, probably the ace of diamonds. I guess they have a club honor. So West has a pretty strong hand, but just didn't feel comfortable bidding. I guess I should ruff a spade and lead a diamond to the king. I'm a little bit nervous about the opponents just starting to cross-ref this hand. I mean, we're almost in the territory where pulling trumps makes sense. Maybe I should just pull trumps. Like, if I'm able to pull 4 rounds of trumps right now, East could cash the high heart, the 10 of hearts, and the ace of diamonds, but we would have the rest. Because, like, if spades happen to be 5-2, and I ruff a spade, and I lead a diamond, East might hop up with the ace, play a heart, ruffed over ruffed, spade, dummies out trumps, East ruffs, heart, ruff over ruff, spade, ruff. Like, it almost feels better for me to just pull trumps. So what happens? I lead a club now, they win. Let's say East wins the jack, worst case scenario. If a low heart comes through, I can pitch a spade. If the 10 of hearts comes through, I ruff over ruff, but West can't give partner a spade ruff, so I can pull at least a second round of trumps. Their cross-ruffing abilities will be cut down a little bit. I mean, I may well end up losing a trick to the 10 of spades later, but that still feels better than getting all of my spades ruffed. Okay, I'm going to pull trumps. Okay, West wins the jack of clubs, which is good news for us because now West has to play something. They play a spade, and spades are 5-1. Well, sorry, 6-1. I mean, fine. I guess this is how it's going to be. I mean, we tried our best. We tried our best. So West also forgot to preempt. West had 6 spades and just didn't preempt. I mean, the good news for us, well, I say that, but it's a declare play only tournament. The good news for us is that we aren't doubled. I mean, everyone else in the field would be doubling with West's hand. So, okay, what do we do now? I don't think we really have a solution to the problem here. We could try and ruff with the club queen and hope that holds. I just don't think that's what's happening. I think East just has like an 11 count, maybe a 12 count, ace of clubs, king of hearts, ace jack of diamonds with their singleton spade that they opened in 4th seat. And I mean, East could easily be 5-5. Maybe they have the ace of diamonds, ace jack 5th. So I think West has a club honor, which means I guess I pitch a spade here. West ruffs, gives their partner spade ruff, then the 10 of hearts comes through. Ruffed and over-ruffed, another spade ruff. It's not good news for us. Definitely not good news. I guess I should pitch a diamond. All right, another spade. Oh, now a diamond comes through. Interesting. Well, fair enough. King of clubs. Ah, so roughing the queen of clubs would have technically worked. Very interesting. Ace of clubs. Yep. And the 10 of hearts. We are trapped in our hand a little bit. East pitch to heart. Had to be a little bit careful in the end position. So I guess if we had roughed with the club queen, we could have saved a trick there at the end. Did it matter that we pulled a trump rather than trying to rough a spade? I'm not sure. I don't know. Complex hand. Let's not dwell on it. Let's move on. Pass, pass, pass. A no trump. We have 15. Looks good so far. Transfer to hearts. We accept. Partner invites showing 6. We're happy to bid the game with 3-card support. Bunch of aces and kings. Side source of tricks and spades. King of clubs lead. Nice side source of tricks that we have. Partner's hand really does not fit with our own. Partner has a tricky decision over a no trump. I mean, the 6 count usually not enough to invite. The spade void, a pretty nice asset in general, but it's really hard to know opposite no trump openers. You don't really have a sense of where partner's values lie. The fact that it goes pass, pass, pass probably means that partner actually has spades on this auction, at least 4 of them and possibly 5. So maybe it's better to be a little conservative with a hand like this, but anyway, let's see how it works out. King of clubs lead. It holds. Ace of clubs. Yep. Queen of clubs. A club. Okay, I mean, I guess I'm roughing. So then the question is going to be, how do we want to try and set up spades to pitch all of our diamonds, if that's even possible? Well, let's rough this trick. There are technically layouts where I think I need to pitch a diamond to make it at this point, but I'm not going to play for one of those. Like if East has queen 10 third of hearts and spades are 4-4, I think I can make it by pitching a diamond, and I think roughing causes me to go down. Is that true? No, I guess I would still make if I rough. Okay, so we'll rough. So if I wanted to play for 4-4 spades, I could rough a spade, heart to the king, rough a spade, heart to the ace. The problem is that, let's say spades are... Let's say hearts don't split, right? So someone still has the outstanding queen of hearts, and spades are not 4-4. Well, if spades are 5-3, I guess I get back to even. I play the ace of spades, pitch a diamond, king of spades, pitch a diamond, someone roughs, and then they get a diamond trick at the end, down 1. But if spades happen to be 6-2, yeah, the opponents could pass a 6-card spade suit, just like they did on board 3. They would rough my ace of spades, and then they would just exit a club. And so I would lose 2 diamonds in the end position. Unless we get very lucky. So, It could make more sense to go ace king of spades, pitching diamonds, spade ruff, heart to the ace. But then if I ruff a spade, someone might over ruff. So I guess I am just going to ruff 2 spades low. Five, 2, 5, 4. Looks like spades might be 5-3 based on these plays. All right, heart to the ace. Let's ruff another spade. Heart to the king. All right. Ace of spades does cash, so we at least get back to even. Ooh, spades break. Look at that. So we can play the last spade pitching a diamond. Oh, it was king, queen, doubleton of diamonds. But it was necessary to do what we did to make it. We needed to set up the extra spade for a diamond pitch. So a little bit of timing required on that one. On to board 5. Pass, pass, and no trump. This time we have a maximum 17. Not such a great hand. Same transfer to hearts. Partner bids 3 now. Partner's a passed hand. I don't understand why we would bid 4 clubs opposite a passed hand. If partner was an unpassed hand, I think 4 clubs as a slam try probably does make sense with our hand. It's 4 triple 3, but we do have 3-card heart support. And we have 3 aces, and kind of the big point is that if partner's hand really fits with ours, partner could have a small singleton spade, and we could just be gin for 12 tricks. And I guess partner probably wouldn't bid 3-no with that type of hand, but, you know, maybe partner has like ace doubleton of spades, and we could just be completely on for 12 tricks, I guess. So I would then think 4 clubs is okay, but when partner's a passed hand, we just don't have a slam. There's no reason to tell the opponents not to lead clubs. They did it anyway. But 4 hearts from partner. Jack of clubs lead. We got to make the uncomfortable decision. Is the robot making a dumb lead for no reason, or are they leading a singleton jack? Because we can pick up 10-8 fourth of clubs in ace hand by winning the king at trick 1. It continues to amaze me that the robots are insistent on leading our suits in every auction. Just every auction that we can come up with, the robots have to lead our suits as opposed to something else. Like, clubs is the only suit that was bid other than trumps. It would never in a million years occur to me to lead clubs here unless West had like king, queen, jack, fifth. Something along those lines. So, you know, the jack of clubs is just a nonsense lead that has no merit other than if it's a singleton. Like, then it would make sense. So if a human opponent made this lead, I would guarantee 100% this is a singleton. But against the robots, I mean, they could just have like jack 10 third, and they're like, well, I'm leading the club because that's the suit. That's just what we lead against these auctions. You know, I mean, like jack 10 8 fourth is just so crazy to lead here, but they might be doing it. I guess I'm going to it's really hard to pick up 10-8 fourth of clubs in East Sand. Hey, George. Glad I'm playing Plat Star. You enjoy the Plat Star vids? Yeah, I try and play that every month. There's also coming up the Robot NABC. I haven't decided if I'm willing to spend like 10 hours like playing through the things again. I mean, I probably will. It seems to be some of my best content on the YouTube channel, gets the most views, and it's also kind of a nice warm-up to the NABC, but it's still kind of a big time commitment. We'll see. I'll do my best to record those, or sign up and play. I don't know exactly when that starts. I think it's a week or two from now. I guess I'm going to say that these opponents are more likely to have Jack 10 fourth of clubs than Singleton Jack for this lead. There's also kind of the consideration that if West had a singleton, West might have overcalled over a no trump. Maybe. I mean, probably not. We have 28 combined highs, but... Oh, partner also forgot to open. I just realized that as well. Robot ABC is March 8th to 10th. Yeah, so it'll be a week and a half from now. All right. Okay, East plays the 8, so at least this is confirmed. West does have the 10 of clubs, or maybe East has like 10-8 doubleton or something. All right, Ace of Hearts. I don't know why I'm continuing to play the hand. Club to the queen. It was Jack 10-8 fourth. That's so crazy. Why? No, sorry, it wasn't even Jack 10-8. It was Jack 10 empty fourth. That's insane. Why would you make that lead? That's so nuts. Like, what would I lead from the West hand? I think a diamond's okay. I would probably just lead a trump, but I think it's one of the red suits makes the most sense. Board 6. Pass on our right. We open a heart. We're a little bit too strong for a no trump, right? We have 19. A spade on our left. Partner jumps to 4 hearts preemptive. A little bit sad. There are probably hands where we could still make a slam opposite a preemptive jump. Like if partner has a 5-card minor, for example, like queen 5th of spades and queen 5th of clubs and a singleton spade, we would be able to do it. But it's a little bit too hard to investigate when partner makes this bid. And obviously partner might only have 4 trumps or, you know, not a particularly good hand. So we just gotta let it go. 10 of clubs lead. Interesting. So human opposition here, I think if we got the 10 of clubs, it would very clearly be from queen 10-9. Like, yes, it's possible it could be 10-9 fourth or something, but I think it's a lot more likely to be queen 10-9 because these are auctions where it's actually pretty important for you to set up your side tricks as soon as possible or possibly cash out. So leading from strength is really important, generally, because opener doesn't always have a 19 count. Opener pretty frequently has like 12 or something. But because of all the distribution lying around the table, if you don't knock out a stopper and a side suit, an ace or a king, so that you can set up tricks, declarer will be able to pull trumps, will have plenty of entries to both hands, and then will be able to establish his own tricks. So that's why it's really important to lead from strength against these types of auctions. Like King Jack third is actually a pretty good lead against 1 major, 4 major, at least in my opinion. So, but for the robots, I mean, their lead style doesn't change based on the auction at all. They just don't take that into account. So I do think that it's a lot more likely that East has the club queen as opposed to West on a lead like this. So that does make me think I should just play low and hope that this is 10-9 fourth. Then I would be able to pitch a spade, eventually taking a club finesse. Just trying to think any other considerations. I don't think so. If I end up losing a club trick, they're going to cash 2 spades. It's going to be very obvious what to do defensively. I guess there's some theoretical possibility that the opponents actually make a huge error in playing the spade suit and could allow my 9 of spades to set up. Like, imagine West has ace queen 4th of spades. I try the jack of clubs. It goes queen ace. I pull a couple rounds of trumps. I ruff a diamond and lead a spade, low 10 queen. Ace of spades, the jack drops. So I could then rough out the king of spades and use the 9 of spades to pitch a club. It's possible that mistake could happen. I think I'm just going to play for 10-9 fourth clubs, though. That seems like the simplest plan to me. I'll be a little bit upset if West actually started with queen 10-9 fourth, but I don't think in my 2 years of streaming that I've ever seen the robots lead the 10 from queen 10-9 against anything. So I think we just presume that East has the queen. Yeah, 2 of clubs feels like a good card for us because that could be queen 2 doubleton. Okay, hearts are 3-0. This makes it even more likely that West doesn't have the club queen because I think West would have led a heart from 3 small as opposed to a club from the queen. All right, we'll pull trumps. Well, fair enough. So it was 10 doubleton. Not much that we were going to be able to do about taking tricks here. King of spades to the ace, huh? Whoa. Was that king doubleton? Is that what was going on? King third. Oh, East pitched 2 spades. Why did East pitch 2 spades? Wait, hold on a second. East pitched a diamond and then 2 spades coming down to stiff king. What if I had queen third of spades? What was their plan? This is the worst defense I've ever seen. I mean, they just like blatantly threw away. They have no need for their 10-9 sixth of diamonds. What? What just happened? Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, 420. We're in a no trump. We've opened a diamond. We have 13. Partner bid a spade. Take out double. We decide to bid a no trump. That's interesting. I'm not sure I understand the no trump bid. So why would we bid a no trump in this auction? Let me try and understand from a theory perspective, because it definitely doesn't make sense with this hand. We have no idea if this is our hand or not, and both sides being vulnerable is a really important factor to consider match point wise, because if we pass and our left-hand opponent bids a no trump, we would always score better by just passing that out and defending. Because just the way the scoring system works, if we make 6 tricks in a no trump, then they would make 7. So declaring it our way, we would be minus 100, they would be plus 90. So we would do better, right? By letting them play a no trump and make it, as opposed to playing a no trump and going down. It's the exact opposite effect if both sides are not vulnerable. Then you want to declare a no trump. So if West was planning to bid a no trump over the takeout double, we would be happy with that result. If West was planning to bid 2 clubs, they could still bid 2 clubs despite our no trump bid. So it's not like a no trump somehow preempts them from doing the thing they want in this auction. And for another thing, I don't think we are making it no trump very frequently, unless partner has extras. But if partner has extras, the opponents might be in some serious trouble. This hand could be a misfit. We don't know that it's a misfit. The opponents might have a club fit. They might even have a heart fit. But we don't have a spade fit unless partner has extra spade length. In which case partner can probably bid 2 spades on their own. So I think we should just pass and try and collect plus 200 on defense by doubling them in some contract and beating them a trick, or just by letting them play a no trump, and therefore we're just always scoring better than us bidding a no trump. I don't really know what one no trump accomplishes. I'm trying to think about why would we bid a no trump in this auction, because that's an interesting question. Maybe it's a hand So obviously we would play support redoubles and we would raise to 2 spades on with 4 card support. So no trump must promise a doubleton spade, or I guess possibly a singleton. But why would we be so inclined to bet a no trump as opposed to passing and going after this penalty? It's probably because we don't think we can penalize whatever their likely contract is. So we would probably have a hand that's like 2-4-5-2 or 2-2-5-4, one of those shapes. So a 5-card diamond suit. We would need to have a strong doubleton. Otherwise, we might be afraid of them running that suit against us in no trump. And we would probably also need to have good diamonds. So I think one no trump probably has a very specific hand type in this spot. It's got to be a good 5-card diamond suit, maybe even a 6-card diamond suit sometimes. So confident that you're going to have enough tricks to make a no trump and at least go plus, but also suggesting that we don't want to penalize them. That's the implication when you don't pass the double. So I think that would probably be the hand type, which obviously we're nowhere close to having that hand type. Anyway, we're in a no trump. We get a heart lead, and yeah, it looks like the opponents were going to be in pretty huge trouble. They would either end up in a 4-3 heart fit, or a 4-3 club fit, or possibly a no trump in the West. And either one of those would have been much better for us. I think we would definitely be able to double 2 hearts. Partner might be able to double 2 clubs. And
older and older.
Hey, Richard, 25 months of Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back to the lounge. Appreciate all the support over the years. Man, 25 months. Have I really been doing this for that long? I guess so. It's been a while. But thank you. Thank you for being around all this time. Okay, well, we're in a no trump. We're not defending 2 clubs doubled. So how do we want to tackle this? We have 6 tricks after this heart lead. 2 hearts, 2 clubs, and 2 diamonds. What can I do in the diamond suit itself? Obviously, if diamonds are 3-3, I could make an extra trick. Pretty unlikely given the double from East. The robots play this as 2 suited takeout for just clubs and hearts, which, again, it's not really my preference. I prefer this to just be purely takeout of spades. Like, not necessarily trying to get to diamonds. I mean, it would imply clubs and hearts, but, like, you know, East could very well have a diamond suit on the side. But since the robots play it as just clubs and hearts, it's a little bit less likely that East has 3 diamonds. We could work on the spade suit itself. I'm just thinking how that might look. Because if spades happen to be 4-2, we can never actually set up the long spade. We just don't have the entries. I could pick up a Queen 9 or Jack 9 doubleton of diamonds in East's hand. That's doable. I assume East plays the King of Hearts at trick 1, so we also have to decide if we're going to win or duck. I think we win. It's pretty likely that hearts are 4-3, but clubs could easily be 5-2, especially given that West didn't lead a club at trick 1. Kind of restricted choice. I mean, if West has 3 small and both hearts and clubs, they might have led a club as opposed to a heart. So the heart lead makes it a little bit more likely East has 5 clubs. So I think we take this trick. We just don't want them to switch to clubs if we duck. Not that I wouldn't still be able to go after diamonds, but it would make my life a little bit more complicated for sure. Okay. Should I try and play some spades and maybe get some info about missing honors in case that becomes relevant, or should I just play on the diamond suit immediately? If I do play on diamonds, how do I play? Do I cash the king in case East has like a singleton 9 or something? I don't think it can hurt to lead a round of spades. If they take 4 spades, 2 hearts, no, 4 spades, 2 hearts, and a diamond. I mean, I guess technically it could matter. I think the spade suit is pretty likely to block, though. I guess I'm just never doing anything other than trying to set up a 4th diamond. Like, I play a spade, they win, and play back a heart. Now what? I win the queen, I play another spade, and I think I just lose out on too much by avoiding playing on diamonds immediately. I'm going to have to make some discards from dummy, and if my plan is to keep as many spades as possible, then I'm going to have to start throwing diamonds, and then I can't pick up as many diamond holdings. Let's start with the king, just in case East does a singleton honor of some kind. All right, king of diamonds, East plays the 6. Look at that. West might have made a mistake by putting in the 9 of diamonds there. Or not. Looks like diamonds were 3-3, so none of this mattered. Okay. We want to think for a second about, is there any way to potentially squeeze an opponent if they make some horrible defensive error? I think the answer is no. I mean, yes, like in real life, maybe I would duck a couple of tricks and try and be careful, just in case they made a horrible blunder. But yeah, they've switched to clubs. They're attacking our entries. We'll just take our 4 tricks, get out of here with the plus score. Diamonds split. Spades did happen to be 4-2. Spades being 4-2 is good news, because if spades were 3-3, I think we do score 120. But I think it's pretty unlikely for East to have a hand that looks like this. Obviously, I would make a takeout double with the East hand. It's a 13 count with spade shortness, and 4 hearts being the more important point. But that has to be a lot less likely than, you know, some 5-4-2-2 shapes, I think. Pass, 2 diamonds. We make a takeout double, 17 count. Tricky position, honestly, over a 2 diamond opener. We are 4-4 in the majors, so a takeout double is very appealing. The issue with this sort of takeout double, though, is that it's kind of the same issue why people now open no trumps with 5-card majors, is that if you can just show your high card count and show that you're balanced, you're always going to get to the right level. By starting with a takeout double when we have extras, but not necessarily enough extras to kind of force partner's hand if they show something weak, we aren't always convinced that we're going to end up at the right level. So we make a takeout double, partner bids 2 hearts. What do? Do we raise to 3 hearts? Do we pass? Tough question, I think. If partner Laban solves like they do here, are we really convinced that 3 no trump doesn't have play? I'm not, but it's hard to overrule partner. Partner could be completely broke with a 6-card club suit. So the alternative would be to overcall 2 no trump, as opposed to making the takeout double. And then by showing that like 15 to 18 range or 16 to 18, however you want to define it, partner will always get us to the right level, whether that's game or invite game or something like that. And we would still find our major suit fits if partner does have extras, enough to game force. So there's not that concern. Obviously, the problem is sometimes we overcall 2 no trump and we miss out on playing 2 of a major when we would have gone plus. So we just turn a plus into a minus. I think it's really close with this hand. The fact that we're 4-4 in the majors does kind of lean me towards the takeout double, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's right. And I mean, look what happened here. Partner didn't make a good bid. Partner should not be Laban-Solling with 9 high card points. They should just bid 3 clubs to show extras. Or to show values of some kind, and then we would bid 3-no with our hand. Does 3-no make? I haven't actually thought about it. We have 9 tricks after a diamond to the ace. 4 clubs. Well, we have maybe 9 tricks. We need to pick up the hearts. But 3 no trump does appear to be the place we want to end up in on this deal. Anywho, we're not there. We're in 3 clubs. So a diamond to the ace. East will probably play back a diamond, hoping to give their partner okay. Ace of spades. Now a diamond. What? Why are they not giving their partner a diamond ruff? I mean, obviously they don't have a diamond ruff coming. We know that. But this is insane. Why? Okay. Well, this turns out to be the correct defense. Does that matter? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Okay. So we have some decisions to make. I'm definitely going to win this. I'm definitely going to unblock the Diamond King. Definitely going to cross in hearts, and I'm definitely going to ruff a diamond with the ace of clubs. I guess let's start there, and then we'll figure out what to do. Because East having a doubleton spade, they have to have at least 2 hearts, otherwise they probably would have switched to hearts with the singleton. It's possible clubs are 3-3. East could be 2-2, 6-3 in shape. We need to decide what we're doing with the 10 of clubs, but anyway, let's start out our plan. So heart to the queen. East follows with the 4, but West follows with the 2. So hearts could be 3-3. Let's ruff a diamond. West pitches a spade, makes sense. Ace of clubs, and a club. Okay. So I think if we pick up the clubs, we have the rest. Because West is going to get squeezed in the majors. Hearts might be 3-3, but I mean, it's really bad news if we play the 9 and it loses to a 10 doubleton. Obviously, we could just go queen jack of clubs right now and make our contract. Unless clubs are 5-1, but that seems a bit unlikely. I mean, it really looks like East is 2-3-6-2, right? Based on the defense. That heart count, when I led a heart to the queen, both opponents followed low, which would make sense. So the 9 of clubs would be odds on the play in that scenario. Do I go down? I guess it doesn't matter if I go down, right? Not in the declare play tournament. If we're playing in like a real match point field, it's a little bit more concerning about whether or not we go down. Let me just think about that, even though it's irrelevant to this problem that I face. So if we play the 9 of clubs and East wins the 10, and they play back a diamond, I ruff. I cash the club queen. But West has pitched a heart. And then when I go ace of hearts, heart to the king, West ruffs and cashes the queen of spades. So I am down 1 if I play the 9 of clubs. And it loses. And East has Doubleton. I think we stick in the 9. I mean, it's definitely percentage, and I think clubs are 4-2. All right. Clubs were 4-2. And looks like, yeah, the hearts split. Can I claim now? I think so. 150. We'll take it. Now, should we have been in 3-0? Absolutely. But I think we did okay. Board 9. A club by partner. Heart on our right. We bid a spade. That looks good. 2 hearts on our left. Partner bids 2 spades. That's a little unexpected when we have 6. We do play support doubles here, so that should be a 4-card raise. We bid 3 diamonds. I'm not sure I like this bid. This is the type of bid that we would be making if we wanted to make a slam trap, because we have a game force, right? Like, we have a 10-card spade fit, we have a singleton in the opponent's suit, and we have 2 aces. You don't just look at this hand and count it up to 10 high card points and be like, yeah, that's an invite opposite an opening bid. This is definitely a game force. So 3 diamonds is a slam try. Once we decide that we're game forcing, which I think is pretty automatic, then other bids intending to correct partners sign off to the 4 level would be a slam try. I don't think our hand's that good. We don't have length in partner suit. We don't have fitting honors. We're missing all of the top spades, so we could easily run into this issue that we did on one of the previous boards. Which one was it? Board 2, where, you know, we have 10 spades between us, but we still have 2 trump losers. So I think I would just bid 4 spades here. I'm not that concerned at this vulnerability that the opponents are going to find an effective sacrifice, so I wouldn't be worried about that. Anyway, partner bids 4 spades. We decide to pass, and I mean, like, this kind of shows that 3 diamonds wasn't a very well conceived bid, because if we did plan on making a slam try over 4 spades, we would probably take another call, but we didn't. We get a heart lead, and why are we not in slam? Well, we've made an error in judgment. That's fine. It happens to the best of us. Okay. Yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, so partner has a hand that 2 spades is a massive underbid. Partner should be bidding 3 spades with their hand. It's a 14 count, but lots of good spot cards. I mean, the ace, king, 10 of hearts are not ideal, but at least we have no heart losers. The singleton diamond is great. This is, I think, an automatic 3 spade bid over 2 hearts. Would we have gotten to slam if partner bid 3 spades? Maybe. I mean, we could q-bid hearts, and that wouldn't necessarily turn partner off, because, you know, the singleton heart, the king of hearts, could be useful to, say, pitch a club loser. If we had ace third of clubs instead of ace doubleton, then the king of hearts is actually a valuable card and would help us set up the club suit. Partner's one concern is probably the trumps themselves. Ace 10 9 fourth is a good holding, but opposite something such as queen fourth, they might be concerned. But we would know that we have a 10 card spade fit. So I think it's very possible that we could get to 6 spades on a better auction. but we're in 4. Let's try and be as careful as possible. We can afford to pull 2 rounds of trumps, so that makes it safe, I think, to duck a round of trumps just to potentially pick off king, queen, third, and West's hand. Maybe that's not actually what I want to do. Maybe I want to ruff a heart and lead a spade to the 10. Because if I have to pull 3 rounds of trumps, then we get in danger territory. I wouldn't then be able to ruff 2 diamonds. And we obviously can't pick off 3-0 spades in East's hand. So let's go ahead and ruff a heart and lead a spade to the 10. All right, now we can just claim the rest. Sorry, maybe the ace of diamonds gets ruffed. It does not. 480. On to board 10. We're in 3 spades. We passed one of these preempt hands again. That's fine. Pass, pass, pass. Partner opens a diamond, we bid a spade. Partner bids 2 clubs. Yeah, I mean... okay, this is a tricky position. Because we shouldn't have a hand in our range that would bid 2 spades here. Like, we should just be preempting if we have 6 spades, right? So, of course, this bid should show 6 spades. Like, if we were an unpassed hand, that's exactly what it would show. And that's what we would do with this hand if we were unpassed. But given that we're a passed hand, it just, like, it really shouldn't exist. I think we should just pass 2 clubs. We've made the decision that we didn't want to play this hand in spades when we didn't open it in second seat. So it's a little bit tricky. If partner has a doubleton spade and we pass 2 clubs, we're probably getting a pretty bad match point result. But partner hasn't said anything about spades. Partner could have a singleton or void. And if that's the case, we're going to bid 2 spades. Partner's going to pass when they have a minimum. And we're just going to be playing 2 spades and a 6-1 fit when we could just collect a plus score in 2 clubs. You know, we have a 5 count. Partner doesn't necessarily have extras. They didn't jump shift. So I'm pretty confident 2 clubs is making, and I'm not confident that we're making anything else. Sometimes it's right to just take the plus score at match points. Anyway, we decide to bid 2 spades. Partner bids 3 hearts. 3 spades is a terrible bid. We should, of course, bid 4 clubs, just sign off in 4 clubs and accept our fault. Now we know that we're in a 6-1 or 6-0 spade fit, and that's really bad news for us because now we know that playing in clubs is the best suit, but we're 2 levels higher than if we had just passed 2 clubs earlier. Anyway, we decide to bid 3 spades, which is obviously not a great spot, and here we are. Queen of Hearts lead. Well, how do we want to play this one? So we can set up discards for our clubs. Presumably this is Queen Jack of Hearts, although it could be Queen Doubleton. But we can set up a diamond and a heart, or take a heart finesse to pitch both of our club losers. I guess we want to pull trumps. We don't have a ton of hand entries. There might be some shenanigans we can try and pull off by roughing a bunch of red suit cards in our hand. But I think to start with, let's win the Ace of Hearts and lead the Jack of Spades. We'll see what West does if they get in. I mean, East might get in, but if West gets in, we'll see what they do. Okay, East wins the king, is interesting. And they do switch to clubs. All right. All right, all right, all right. Hearts could be 5-2. I guess I'm tempted to win the king of clubs and lead a diamond up towards the king. It might look a little bit more attractive to win the club ace and lead the diamond king, because then I'll be put back in my hand with the second round of clubs to take a heart finesse. But there's some chance hearts are 5-2 and we wouldn't be able to pitch our clubs. So I think leading through West's potential ace of diamonds has a lot going for it here. Let's do that. All right, East has the diamond ace. They play back a heart, which is not great news for us because this does make it sound as if hearts are probably 5-2. But there's not much we can do about that if that's what's going on. We could try and rough out the jack of diamonds, but we don't need to do that immediately, I don't think. What happens if I lead the king of hearts and East roughs? If they rough with a low card, I guess I can over rough just cheaply. We'll lose a club, but hopefully that compromises their trump holding in some way. If they rough with a high card, maybe I could just pitch a club and play it as like a loser on loser. Or if they follow, we can just... No! West led Queen Doubleton. No! Oh, this is a disaster. Well, that's not what I thought was happening. Like, at all. Oh, no. Okay, what do I actually think is going on in the spade suit? East hopped up with the king of spades, so I think the only layout that we can pick up is East having ace king third, so we should rough with the queen here and exit a trump. Yeah, it looks like East had king doubleton of spades, so West gets to cash the jack of clubs, and they still get, what, 2 more trump tricks? Is that what's going on? East had king 10 fourth, and king 10 third. Oh, I must have missed something. Wait, what? Wait a second. No, I didn't miss anything. What I missed was East making a nullo play by playing the king of spades on the first round of the suit. So I could have roughed with the 9 of spades at the end and saved a trick. That's pretty disappointing. Dude, this entire sequence just blew my mind. I mean, Queen of Hearts lead is just crazy. And then clubs happened to be 4-1, which was not great. All right, that's not going to be a good result. I could have pitched my club loser on the diamond queen before playing the king of hearts. I just was not thinking that West was going to be the one showing out in hearts. And I mean, if East was showing out in hearts, I thought it was also pretty unlikely that East had a singleton club. So that's why I wasn't really concerned about this possibility. But shows what I know. I mean, the robots will lead any doubleton. Doesn't matter how bad. 2 boards to go. Board 11. We open a no trump. 17 count. This is a really good 17, despite no 5-card suit. We had 3 10s, a 9, an 8. Great honor structure. Stamen, partner puts us in game. We're pretty happy, given that we have a complete max. I would be very nervous about opening a no trump and hearing Stamen. Anyway, diamond lead. We're in 4 hearts. Looks pretty natural to rough the opening lead. So then what do we want to do? Let's suppose spades are 3-3 for a second. How many tricks can we make? We could rough a diamond, spade to the ace, rough a diamond, pull 2 rounds of trumps. Let's say they split, run the spades, and we'll be able to pitch both clubs and a diamond loser. We still have the ace of diamonds as protection against the 3rd round of trumps. So we would make 12 tricks if spades are 3-3 and hearts are 3-2. Can we do better against other layouts? Because if spades don't happen to split on that line of play, how much trouble do we get in? So what exactly was my line? Rough the opening lead, spade to the ace, rough the diamond, pull 2 rounds of trumps. Let's say they split 3-2, but I play a spade to the king, and then I play the queen of spades, and someone shows out. If they rough the queen of spades, it's actually probably worse for me. I can pitch my diamond loser. I guess it's not so bad. I'll be able to pitch my diamond loser on the spade queen, and then I can hope to take 2 club finesses. Try and make 11 tricks that way. That doesn't seem terrible. Okay. I think I like this plan. So, rough, heart to the ace, diamond rough, heart to the king. I suppose I could even rough and play a heart to the 10 if I wanted to be really optimistic. We might make all 13 tricks that way. It also protects a little bit better against 4-1 splits if East has queen jack 4th of hearts. A bit more likely than a singleton honor in West's hand. Is there any danger? I rough the opening lead, I play a heart to the 10, West wins, and they switch to clubs. What do I do? I guess the danger at that point is that I don't know how the spades are splitting. If spades are 3-3, I would have the rest by just hopping up with the club ace and then pulling trumps and running spades. But if spades are 4-2 and I hop up with the club ace and then I try to run spades, I might lose my entry if someone roughs the 3rd spade, and then I'll be trapped into leading away from the club queen. So there is a bit of a danger in playing a heart to the 10. Okay. Let's go with my first line. It was my first instinct after all. So heart to the ace, diamond rough, heart to the king. Oh, that's pretty rude. Okay. We need to think for a second. West pitched a spade, which makes me a little bit happier. I don't really understand why West would ever pitch a spade, but I guess pitching diamonds or clubs could be a little bit risky from their perspective. All right, let's hope that West has pitched from 3 small spades as opposed to 5 of them. Yeah, so we're in pretty good shape now. We can play spades through East. They'll rough with their 3 of hearts, which is like fine. So we can either discard or over rough here. We'll just over rough, and then I guess have things become complicated? Let me stare at this for a second. I don't think so. I think I can just cash the diamond ace, cross to the ace of clubs, and lead a spade. As long as East doesn't ruff the ace of clubs. Because if I play a heart and East has the long diamond, then they can cash a diamond. Does that matter? Maybe that doesn't matter. I'm always losing that trick anyway. Like, I'm planning to lose the last 2 tricks. Yeah, so I could just exit a heart here. Okay, fair enough. 11 tricks. So we would have made 12 if I had played a heart to the 10. Been brave. That's okay. We had a reasonable understanding of the problem, I would say. That if West had been able to win the 10 of hearts and play a club through, we would have been forced to guess before we knew what was going on in spades. Pass, 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 a no trump. We've opened a no trump an awful lot today. Last hand, transfer to hearts. We get a trump lead. Thanks, guys. It's probably a singleton. You know, I've seen the opponents lead trumps against these transfer auctions so many times, and I feel like it very frequently is a singleton trump lead. I don't know why they lead trumps with a singleton. Also, the robots don't play garbage stamen, I forgot. But this is a perfect hand for it. You have 5 hearts and 4 spades, so you'll always get to the longer fit. Well, 3 of hearts, 8 king. Interesting. I guess it could be 5 hearts to the jack that West is leading from. They have led 4th best. I suppose I'm taking a heart finesse. I could play on the minor suits. I mean, I'm always losing 2 diamonds and 2 clubs. There's no avoiding that. So I think the main question is, if hearts happen to be 4-2, can I trump coup West? And I believe the answer is probably yes, as long as I start setting up the minors in a timely fashion. Let's play a heart to the 10. There's the 2 of hearts. I think hearts are 5-1. It's just, I mean, they're always... they're robots for whatever reason. They just love leading from short trumps or long trumps. East pitches a club. Okay. So... I guess let's lead the 10 of diamonds. West wins the king. Plays back a spade. This is probably a singleton. With 5 trumps, West might not have been looking for a ruff at trick 1, but now that we get the spade switch, I mean, it seems likely to be a singleton to me. There's not much I can do about spade ruffs, but my objective would still be to, I think, set up a diamond trick for a, for a discard, if possible. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to force East to play a spade on her, win the king of spades, and lead the diamond queen. East will win. And if East returns a spade, now I can safely put in the 9. If I were to win the ace and lead a diamond and East hops up and switches to a low spade, I would be in a position where I would have to guess, do I put in the 9 or the king? Because if I play the king and it gets ruffed, then a club over and another spade covered and ruffed, and East would have set up a spade trick. So I really don't want them to be able to cash a spade is my main concern. So East puts in the 10. I'll win. Let's try... I guess I'll play the queen of diamonds. We know that East has the ace. 10 of clubs. And another spade. Okay. Okay. Well, this is good news because now we actually get to pitch a club loser. And let's see. I should be able to score all of my trumps at this point. I can rough a club with the 4 of hearts and just start exiting tricks. West is either going to have to play hearts where I can take the finesse, or they're going to have to give me roughs with the 9 of hearts. So yeah, they play back a club, but I can rough, and they end up scoring the last trick with their long trump, but plus 110. A bit of a defensive error for them to not cash the second club. All right, how did we do today? Board 10, I think, unfortunately, we're probably not going to score very well because I think a lot of the field is just going to take finesses. Board 3, I could see people doing a little bit better. Board 1, maybe there's a way to swindle the opponents, but how did we end up doing? Wow, we got a 0 on board 10. Yeah. Something that I've noticed that a lot of players do is they never think, like the prime example is a king-jack combination. If they lead towards a king-jack and their left-hand opponent doesn't play the ace, they just always play them for the queen. It's 100% that they will do that as opposed to playing the king. They never think... Yeah, no one else is thinking about the problems. That's the issue here, that people just don't think. I mean, it's like there's this obsession with taking finesses. I would put it that way, that people really... I guess they just like have this belief that people will always play a high card, for example. So on the 3 spades board at the very end, when I was in a position where I was pretty sure spades were 3-3, or if spades were 3-3, that was my only real hope. I could play East for the high honor or the lower honor, and I chose to play them for the higher honor, mostly because East made a nullo earlier in the play. Like, popping the king of spades would have been an unnecessary risk if their partner had ace doubleton. They would have just blown a spade trick in that case. I mean, similarly, if their partner had, I guess, queen doubleton, maybe. I guess queen doubleton, no, but singleton queen, that would have been a big no-no. Like, there was no reason to play the king of spades on the jack, but it really got me to picture the hand wrong. Either way, that was a 0. Board 6, we made 4 hearts, and this was terrible. Why? Oh, you can technically pick up the clubs because it's 10-7 doubleton on opening lead. So I guess a lot of people covered the 10 of clubs with the jack and then went over and ran the 8 of clubs. Is that possible? Maybe a lot of people just didn't play clubs again, and because of the fortunate layout of the club suit, they ended up making it. So that's about a little more than half the field ended up picking up the clubs for no losers. I'm a bit surprised by that. I would have expected quite a few more players to read into the queen doubleton possibility from East, but maybe they were thinking about something else. Maybe they just played the jack because that's probably the best play against human opponents, and then when it didn't work, they just kind of shrugged and eventually got lucky at the end of the play. We have 2 90s. 3 clubs making 5 was a huge result, 96. Not that surprised there. I mean, all we really did was pick off the 10-4 of clubs, but that's often a pretty difficult play for people to make. And it could have easily gone the other way, right? Like, us and it looks like maybe one other person took the same line of play. If the 10 of clubs had been doubleton in East's hand, we would have gotten close to 0. So it was really kind of gambling a top versus bottom on our read on what was the distribution of the hand. So we were a bit more than 50% to be correct. Given the 4-2 club split, it's about 2-1 that West has the 10 as opposed to East. So it would be nice if we were just awarded 66% of the match points, but that's not how bridge works. 66% of the time we get a top, and the other 33% we get a 0. Board 4, making 4 hearts was pretty good. This is a little surprising to me. This shouldn't be that difficult of a hand to find the plan. I know it's not that frequent that you have a 5-card suit opposite a void and the correct play is to set up the 5-card suit, but there wasn't anything complicated about the order in which we played the cards. They just cashed 2 clubs and played a 3rd club, removing one of our entries. I can understand that some players might have tried the ace-king of hearts immediately, hoping that just the queen drops, and then went ace-king of spades, pitching diamonds, and claimed down 1. But I'm disappointed in you all. Whoever's playing in this thing, do better next time. That's all I have to say on that one. A couple of other good results, though. Some 70s and 80s throughout. 3 clubs down 4 was an 80. I actually didn't expect that. I guess that's because people just tried to ruff a spade or maybe even cash the spade king, and ended up suffering an even worse cross ruff than we did. I mean, to some extent, we actually did quite well by pulling a round of trumps to prevent West from getting 2 ruffs. But still, I was thinking that maybe minus 150 was even in the picture.